No generation of kids in history has ever faced anything like this. Never has there been this concerted, coordinated, far-reaching effort to deprive them of that which is most basic, themselves. And that's why we're here today, because we're not going to sit in silence while our kids, while any kids, are ripped to shreds by these damned vultures, these monsters.
This rally means the future of the education system for our children.
I have 4 school-age children in Loudoun County. The things that are going on with the Loudoun County School Board are things that are criminal and shouldn't be allowed. It's unconscionable.
Teaching things like critical race theory that teach that the white race is inherently evil is inherently racist. Why in the world would we teach that an entire race is evil when the entire goal since the Civil Rights Act was to eliminate the color barriers within our country?
There are thousands of members that are so against this and thousands more that are quiet about the issue.
I feel like in this area in particular, there's enough people that just go along with it, and they might start paying attention to a little bit of disruption.
We are parents who care about our children, and not just our own children, but all children. And we're not going to abandon them to be brainwashed and abused by a morally and intellectually corrupted education system. If you're on the other side of this, if you're in the opposition and that scares you, then I'm glad that it does. If we have you worried, then good, you should be, because we're not going away. That's not going to happen.
I want parents to have their rights given back to them, to have a voice with their children.
This is an example of when people are standing up and not just sitting down and listening to what they're saying, oh, whatever, it's not my problem, it's not a big deal. And then we end up with things like this, where we have men in the women's bathrooms, men in the women's sports teams. It can't continue, and Loudoun County is where we need to start this.
You know, they turn the whole world upside down and demand that we all pretend that the ceiling is the floor and the floor is the ceiling, and we're not going to do that. We can't. The days of polite cooperation with evil and falsehood are over now. They're completely over.
I would love to see them define what is a woman.
Consider the fact that none of the people on the school board who are making policies related to gender can even tell you exactly what a woman is.
They cannot define what a woman is. They're saying whoever identifies. It means nothing now.
They can't even define words that my 4-year-old could define, because he doesn't go to Loudoun County schools.
Just people caring about people and not caring about feelings.
There is no compassion without truth. You can't love a person by leaving them to stew in their own delusions. And if I surrender the truth, then I have surrendered the only thing worth fighting for.
Yes, we should be compassionate towards people, but humans are the goal, not some fantasy thought.
Education divorced from truth is not education at all. It is many other things. It's brainwashing, it's conditioning, it's intellectual abuse, it's indoctrination, but it's not education. By imposing these unrealities, these falsehoods, these untruths, the Loudoun County School Board has fundamentally destroyed the very education it is supposed to be facilitated.
Having Matt Walsh here to just give his support, it's super great because he generally gives an unbiased opinion and he's open to dialogue with those he disagrees with, and it's important to have someone like that at the rally.
So I think that means a lot because it definitely gets the word out. I know he has over 500,000 followers on Twitter, so it helps spread awareness and spread the word for people to also understand what's going on in our school system.
This is just history in the making. Matt Walsh is bringing a lot of people over here, getting people finally brave enough to stand and say no more to what the school board is doing to our children's futures.
I appreciate Matt coming out, and I'm glad that he's a new resident of Loudoun County, as I've heard. That does mean a lot because this is something that should gain national attention.
I'm so glad he's a resident of our county and lives in Virginia like he has for at least a day.
I want the people on the other side of this to understand this. Your old tricks are not going to work. You could call us hateful, and you're right about that. We are. We hate what you are doing to kids.
That's right.
We hate your attack on truth and on science and on moral decency. We hate that too. And you could call us intolerant, and that's also true because we're not going to tolerate it anymore.
Who's your favorite Daily Wire host?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go with Matt Walsh.
Came for Ben, stayed for Matt.
Definitely Matt Walsh.
Well, of course it's Matt Walsh because he's a Loudoun County resident and he's here.
Ben Shapiro.
Move this man!
This is the line in the sand that we have drawn. We're not going to surrender our kids to this darkness. We're not going to do it. We're not going to give up on truth. Not now, not ever. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Welcome home, Matt! Welcome home, Matt!
Thank you so much.